Okay, so here's Cadmus. And in Greek mythology, Cadmus was the legendary Phoenician hero and founder of Boeotian Thebes. He was alongside Perseus in Bellerophon, the greatest hero and slayer of monsters before the day of Hercules. Commonly stated to be a prince of Phoenicia, the son of King Agenar, the queen Telephassa of Tyre, the brother of Phoenix, Clix, and Europa. Cadmus traced his origins back to Poseidon and Libya. Originally, he was sent by his royal parents to seek out and escort his sister Europa back to Tyre after she was abducted from the shores of Phoenicia by Zeus. In early accounts, Cadmus and Europa were instead the children of Phoenix. Cadmus founded or refounded the Greek city of Thebes and Acropolis, of which was originally named Cadmea in his honor. He is also credited with the foundation of several cities in Illyria, like Botho and Lychnidis. In ancient Greek literature, the end of the mythical narrative of Cadmus and Harmonia is associated with Ukelele and Illyrians, a tradition deeply rooted among the Illyrian people. His parentage is also credited with the foundation of several cities in Illyria, like Botho and Lychnidis, however that's pronounced. And forgive my bad interpretation of these words too. I'm not Greek. In ancient
Nah, you're
Greek,
good. It's good. I mean, like, yeah. It's not like they're the easiest way. It's not like they're the easiest to pronounce, but go ahead.
in ancient Greek literature, the end of the mythical narrative. Wait. Yeah, I already know his. His parentage was sometimes modified to suit claims of Theban origin name. In suit, e.g., claims of Theban origin name his mother as one of the daughters of Nilus, one of Patami and deity of the Nile River. Let's see. In Greek mythology, Nilus or Nilos was one of the Patami who represents the gods of the Nile River itself. So you can kind of see where it's blending into Egypt right there. Now, Cadmus was linked to this, basically. It's about Ormus. Now, I'm going to read some from the story of Ormus. The story of Ormus is said to be originated with the Baron de Westerode, member of the League des Philalethes. He is said to have gotten it from a source that claims it originated in Sweden. We first came upon it in Holy Blood, Holy Grail. When we did our research, we found it in Arthur Edward Waite's New Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. Later on, we found it again in the Brotherhood of the Rosy Cross. When we obtained our copy of Mackey's Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, we found it in there, as well as a couple of George Oliver D.D. Ann's works. Once we were able to obtain the authentic tradition, once we were able to obtain the authentic tradition was transmitted from the Dark Ages to the High Middle Ages fairly intact. It would probably be redundant to repeat the quotations we have already made regarding this, but repeat we may in order that it be clear what we are writing and that people do not mistake what we have to say. Starting then with the history of the legend itself in Waite's Brotherhood of the Rosy Cross. I will mention here one only of the more recent legends which may be said to have grown up within the order far down in the 18th century. It has obtained a casual vogue owing to the dissemination through Masonic channels in France. It postulates a founder of the Rosicrucians in a certain Amicius or Ormuz, and affirms that he was converted to Christianity at Alexandria by St. Mark AD 46. He is said to have purified the Egyptians' mysteries and married them to the new faith. His disciples followed their master, and with these as a center he established the Society of Ormuz, or of the Light. The sign of membership was a red cross worn on the person. Essenes and Therapte entered the ranks of this solidarity in which the Hermetic's secrets were preserved and transmitted. The Baron de Westerode has been credited with putting forward his fiction, he being an adventurer among secret societies derivative from Masonry about the period of the French Revolution. An obscure figure in the annals, I conceive him nevertheless to have been connected with one of those cliques which found shelter under the banner of Masonry, offering little distinction between Rosicrucian rites proper and the numerous obediences of the Rosicrucian grade, in the rites in the old rite of perfection. These things merged into one another continually, or at least in the records concerning
Excuse
them.
me.
Yeah.
We spoke about Rosicrucians not too long ago, the Rosicrucian. This is a direct correlation, right?
Right.
Or am I hearing something? Okay. Because it just sounds like, yeah.
Yep. This is actually about the cult of Ormus. And the court of, or the cult of Ormus is supposedly supposed to be connected to the Rosy Cross, and they also Rosicrucian.
Yeah. I just remember because we looked it up and we saw the pictures of it, and that's what I immediately pictured when you were talking. So I was just making sure I was getting right.
Right. Now, the alleged Society of Ormus has been reflected into modern systems like the confused and unwielding Masonic rites of Memphis. It is a characteristic specimen of spurious traditional history to be met with everywhere in masonry. It would be interesting to follow this curious fable further and identify the rite with which it may have been incorporated at first. Among English references, there is Kenneth Mackenzie, Royal Cyclopedia of Freemasonry, SVXXVIIPP 422 et Sec. 1900 to 1901. It produces some reasons for believing that Francis Bacon was a Rosicrucian, and leads us to this main subject in the manner following. The Order of the Rosy Cross claimed Ormus as its founder. It did nothing of the sort, and the Ormus favor was fathered on the order of the late period. Our note. Yes, but Arthur, we know what you wrote in your third order note, Re Falcon et al. That is, that indeed there was a third order operating in Germany, but you had to keep denying that to the public. Therefore, why not deny the obvious to the public as well? Like that there was a group of Upper Egypt that existed and combined the mysteries of Christianity and buried the scriptures so that they could be discovered in the 1940s, long after you died, and wouldn't have to deal with it. Yes, why not? Arthur Edward Waite has bungled the entire tradition, the which he was the sole legitimate hoaxtorian for. And Waits to the lion, were freshed out. Okay, so that's basically their note to it, and it sounds like they're from some crazy English country. Sounds like they're Scottish, maybe. If you guys understood that, great. If you didn't, I apologize.
Yeah, you kind of lost me at the end. I was like, what? What are we talking about? We're fresh out.
Yeah, it's talking about the weights to the lions. We're fresh out. Yeah. So,
that went over my head.
That was kind of weird. But anyhow, continuing.
X-Lax? It's like, right. It's like, what? No one X-Lax here, but okay.
It was allied closely to the Knights Templar and or the Knights Companions of St. John of Jerusalem. Batista Porta in 1605 was chief of the Rosy Cross, who under cover of his comedies instructed initiates in things human and divine, not apparently under cover of his famous work in Magia Naturalis. Wickfield, Lolland, Chaucer, Dante, Petrarch, Becocco, Voltaire, Goethe, Lessing, Swedenborg, Mesmer, and Bohm are today openly acknowledged as brethren of the craft, by whom does not appear, but by those presumably who regard Bacon as a Rosicrucian and as the concealed poet of the Shakespeare plays. It is scarcely necessary to say that no particular evidence is produced in support of these statements. They are the vaporing and foolish dreams. Porta, for example, died in 1615, 1 year after the Rosy Cross made its public appearance on the stage in Germany. We may compare an essay of the Rosicrucians which appear in Theosophical Sifting, Volume 3. All accounts are said to agree in pointing to the origin itself, into an origin outside Europe, in Oriental lands.